This episode is brought to you by Trailer Park Yard Games, where over 28 games are delivered directly to your party. We park the trailer, you party.
So I kind of took the unconventional route to being a chef. Like I said, I bartended, did dinner parties. We had a mutual friend that had a restaurant. She's like, will you just come look at it and see what's going wrong? And I was there for 2 days just consulting, and she's like, you want the job? I was like, yeah, I'll consult for you. She's like, no, I need a chef.
When you say consulting, were you just Gordon Ramsaying it? Like,
it was weird.
This is gold!
It was weird because like I went in and I had dinner, I sat down, I watched, and I just watched people not doing their jobs. So I just got up and started working.
Oh. Yeah.
I'm like bussing tables or walking in the kitchen, and people are like, who are you? I was like, don't worry about it, it's fine. Yeah. And then 2 days later, I was like, I'm your boss now.
I love the restaurant.
Let's have a chat, talk this and that with PB and Jaisy.
Hello, and welcome to the PB and Jaisy podcast. My name is Jaisy George. I am the Jaisy to the PB and Jaisy sandwich. And I'm joined by
Sarah Paget. I am the P in the PB and Jaisy.
And I'm Bill Stedham, and obviously I'm the B, or the best part of the PB and Jaisy sandwich.
That's debatable.
So last week, Tom, my husband, and I were at a restaurant, and we noticed that there was a couple next to us, and they wanted to pay their compliments to the chef. So, the chef comes out, and, whatever they're talking. And Tom then tells me this really funny story of when he was in Florida, he worked at an Indian restaurant. And I think the Indian restaurant's still there, Duction. And so it was always awkward for him because he was a waiter. Sometimes people would be like, oh, this chicken tikka was so amazing. I just want to pay my compliments to the chef. So they'd just be like, okay. They'd go back there and get the chef to come out, and it was a Hispanic man named Jesus that cooked the chicken tikka. And I mean, that just goes to tell you that no matter what the form of food, no matter what it is, you never know what the person could look like. We are joined by Stefon Rishel, who's got some purple hair,
Normally in a mohawk, but today it's under wraps.
Yeah, very
Jaisy
cool.
was very impressed because she was stalking you online. She's like, look at his mohawk.
Isn't
I was
this
like,
so
it's awesome.
cool?
You never know what color it is either.
It makes the food taste better.
Yes.
I promise.
100%.
Yes.
So, Stefon, if you want to introduce yourself, tell us a little about yourself.
My name's Stefon Rishel. I'm a culinary director and owner of Trident Restaurant Group. So Wishbone and Flint, Trey Mogli, Cucina Italiana, I think is how I finally said it. Parker County Ice House, and the Amber Room, our speakeasy behind Wishbone and Flint. So we stay pretty busy.
Wow.
So let me speak to the Amber Room first, because I am, wherever we go, wherever we travel, we always try to find speakeasies. We love that concept and that idea. And so Wishbone and Flint, what do you have? It's behind the bar, but what is it, a bookshelf? Is that
it's a gold door with 14 doorknobs on it.
It's really cool. So perfect after dinner, go get a couple drinks, but the room is just so chill, and it's dim and
it's like
awesome
Victorian
bar.
London meets Morocco.
Yeah, it's
That's
awesome.
kind of the best way to explain
awesome.
it. Yeah.
So very, very cool environment. So tell us, is there 5 restaurants total? Is that what you named?
I think we're at 6 actually, because if you count the bars. So we took over shipping and receiving, so distribution bars, us, Rhinestone Saloon, which used to be Whiskey Girl in the Stockyards.
Oh, okay.
That's us too.
Oh, awesome.
And then we're working on a project to bring another ice house to the Saginaw market.
Okay, perfect.
Right there at Bailey Boswell in Maine.
So my first experience with you guys was Wishbone and Flint. So tell me that concept and kind of what that menu
So
looks
it's
like.
the flagship restaurant, and the whole goal was to kind of create the restaurant the way it's supposed to be. So 55 seats, no walk-in, no freezer. We do everything fresh every day. Comes in, break it down, put it on the line. We call it local worldly, global cuisine and technique with Texas ingredients. And so we've partnered up with a lot of local farms and ranches and what we source our product from. And we take great pride in the fact that we won Best New Restaurant in 2020, Best Restaurant in 2021.
What, you mean like 2020, like when COVID?
Yeah, we opened 61 days before lockdown. It was really smart. That was awesome. I was like, you want to add years to your life? Do that. That's 100%.
God has a great sense of humor, doesn't he?
Yeah, we had a great 61 days, and I was like, oh, this will be fun.
What do we do?
So it's kind of, we're very blessed by Fort Worth. They've supported us very well. The people of Fort Worth love us and kept us open. But having the amber room back there and no lock on that door, we were able to prop the door open, and now it becomes an extension of the dining room. So show me the loophole and I'll pull a hamstring jumping through it, right? So, and that was all about loopholes in COVID.
Right.
Now we selling alcohol to go, all these other things, and learning how to pivot and moving forward with every concept we open has to be multifunctional, because we just have to prepare for the worst every time now.
Right.
We don't know if we're going to get shut down again or what's going to happen. So it's like Parker County Ice House, we have the live music in addition to the food. So there's always something else we can do with it. So
Nice. Can you tell us a little bit about the beginning? Like, how did you get into, or how did you become a chef, or what drove that passion?
I was a bartender first, and I couldn't make the same kind of money during the day as I did at night. So I started cooking, and I got bit. And I've always loved to cook. I mean, my family's always been foodie based, and we love great restaurants and stuff like that. But I just got bit, and I love cooking, and it got to a point where I'd rather cook than bartend.
So when did you know you were a good cook?
When Bree and I started dating, I did a lot of dinner parties, and people were like, "You should look into doing this professionally. This is like, you're really good at this." And I was like, I don't know about that.
Should I?
So I kind of took the unconventional route to being a chef. Like I said, I bartended, did dinner parties. We had a mutual friend that had a restaurant. She's like, "Will you just come look at it and see what's going wrong?" And I was there for 2 days just consulting, and she's like, "You want the job?" I was like, "Yeah, I'll consult for you." She's like, "No, I need a chef."
When you say consulting, were you just Gordon Ramsaying it? Like,
It was weird.
this is gold!
It was weird because like I went in and I had dinner. I sat down, I watched, and I just watched people not doing their jobs. So I just got up and started working.
Oh.
I'm like bussing tables and walking in the kitchen. People are like, who are you? I was like, "Don't worry about it, it's fine." And then 2 days later, I was like, "I'm your boss now."
I love the restaurant industry will always have a hold of my heart. I waited tables forever, and I really think that everyone should do that. But
100%.
yeah, and it changes the way you dine out. And I do the same thing when I go to a restaurant and it's not a fine-tuned machine, which all of yours are, so don't worry.
Does it drive you insane?
It drives me insane. And I'm like, I need to dust that window seal. That guy walked by that table 3 times and didn't pick up a dish. And it changes the way that you eat.
I can't eat out.
Yeah, I'm sure you can.
I'm like this.
Okay,
like,
and
gives
now,
me anxiety.
I was telling Bill about Trey Mogli, but I want you to explain the concept there, because it was some of the freshest, most amazing food I've had in a very long time.
Yeah. So Trey Mogli is it's a monster of itself. It's almost 8,000 square feet, 2 stories. The only thing we don't make in house is the pecorino romano. We make ricotta, mozzarella, mascarpone, all the breads, all the pastas. It's a labor of love, but it's worth it because the end product is so good.
You can taste it.
There's so much Italian in
difference.
Fort Worth, but there's not any great Italian, and we wanted to set the bar and set the standard. That was our goal. It's like, this is where we're going to do it. Make everybody come to us. And so,
Well, and it's not spaghetti warehouse. It's not like
No.
super heavy, like, you know, when you think Italian, you think I'm going to go get a big pizza and a plate of spaghetti. This is, like he said, the ingredients.
$30,000 pizza oven with no pizza.
Yeah, but the
that's how
time that goes into it.
But that's how I hear that authentic, like if you go to Italy, that's how the pastas and
Right, it's
stuff
not
are.
Americanized.
100%.
It's very
It's not
light
swimming in
and you don't,
sauce.
right.
Right.
And so the whole goal is, like, and I use the word blessed a lot because the team we have around us is fantastic. Alex Drury, my chef de cuisine, is twice the cook I was at 27. The kid is just amazing. His grandmother's from Milan. He grew up in East St. Louis, cooked in all the mom and pop Italian shops there.
Awesome.
This kid makes some of the best pastas I've ever had. He's got one coming out on the spring or fall menu. The bottom sheet is egg pasta, braised leeks and ricotta in the middle, and the top sheet is squid ink. And you cut it into it's a pentagon cut, and then you crimp all 5 pieces. And when it cooks, it cups up. It looks like a sunflower. It's like,
Really?
the kid does stuff. I'm just like,
How do you come
It's
up
like
with
an
these
artist.
ideas?
that's what I've said. I'm like, dude, I was like, come on, man. Like, this is crazy. And it's the first entity that I let everybody have free reign. So Alex Drury in the kitchen, David Jennings, my bar coordinator, and then Justin Ferrum's my general manager and does all my wine program. I just let them run with it. I was like, look, you guys know what you're doing. This is why you do what you do. Have fun with it.
You mean you're not stifling their creativity?
Yeah, and it's like normally like I would be like really hands-on and like kind of manipulative on things, but I'm like, I'm gonna try something different and get out of my comfort zone, and they killed it. Like
That's what the best managers do. Just let artists do their art.
Agreed.
They'll-
And I've always told him, I was like, look, I will never take credit for your work. I will always put you at the forefront. Like, this is your food. I want to get him a James Beard Award. That's always our plan. And everybody's like, well, don't you want it? I go, well, if he gets it, I get it. I'm the restaurant. It's like, it's just hand in hand.
It's a group, yeah, it's
But
a team.
our philosophy and culture within the group is we're always teaching. And we say this as people come on board with us. We're like, you will always leave bigger, better, faster, stronger, smarter than the day you started with us. And we know you're not going to be here forever, so we want to be good stewards and pass our info to you and get you the best we can make you for your next step in your journey.
Right.
And so with Trey Mogli, it was really just about the best ingredients, the best people, and the best environment. And so that's kind of where we are, and we're packed 3 weeks out in the hottest week of the year for Italian food. So I can't wait for like November. So
Well, and now tell me about the restaurant design, because both of the restaurants I've been in are beautifully designed, and it's all about an atmosphere too. So who does that side of it for you guys?
It's kind of weird. They both are very similar in style, but it's two different people designed it. So Leslie Marshall did Wishbone and Flint in the Amber Room. She did the Virgin Hotel in Dallas. She's quite well known. She's fantastic. She did a great job taking my vision for Wishbone and making it reality. And then Trey Mogli is Misty Vento. She's kind of our jack of all trades. She's our sales coordinator. She does all kinds of stuff for us. She's awesome. She made Trey Mogli just gorgeous.
It's beautiful.
All the bathrooms are fantastic.
Yeah.
I was like, I try to tell people, I'm like, you gotta hit all
Wait,
four.
wait. We're talking about a restaurant.
important.
You just went to all the bathrooms.
Yeah, no, everything has to have an Instagrammable session, right?
Right,
So
yes.
we have the neon at Wishbone or the Amber Room, and then it's the bathrooms at Trey. The wallpapers are just crazy. The design, antique New York subway tile, there's all kinds of fun stuff.
Wow.
Nice.
But yeah, I mean, what she did with the room is, it's almost two different restaurants, because downstairs all booths, banquet, and then upstairs is all private dining, 4 tops, 2 tops, things like that. So the goal, that whole area, right? So South Main, where we are in, our building has been vacant since 1980.
Oh,
There was a fire, excuse me, fire just ravaged everything, and then nobody bought it and did anything with it. So when we took it over, we had a clean slate to just play with. So it was
That's
really cool.
awesome. That's
Very
awesome.
cool.
Do you know how old that building is?
1904.
Oh wow, that's really cool.
That's why we didn't have to have an elevator.
Oh, okay. So you got to go off building standards from
From back then.
Yeah, I wish we would have put one in though, because I hate the stairs. God, I hate the stairs.
Okay, what about, you guys get any famous folks through? I know you've had some other chefs checking you out. You don't have to mention them by name, but you have people come through like that write reviews and stuff too?
Yeah, I mean, we have some fun stuff. I've been in the market long enough that I know pretty much everybody here that does food, and I like to think I have a good relationship with everybody.
That's good.
But we do get a lot of celebrities in. We get a lot of Texas country artists for
Yeah.
sure. It's like, okay, case in point. So I was at Wishbone. This is probably a month ago, and it's me, William Clark Green, Blue Edmondson, Daryl Dodd. Who else was there? D. Thomas was there, and then Steve Helms and Prather down on the
Oh
end, right?
wow.
And this lady comes up to me and she goes, "Is that Steve Helms?" And I looked at her, I go, "That's the person you recognize off this bar?"
She was from Cleaver.
Yeah,
She was from Cleaver.
And then she gets all the way to the door, she stops, turns around, and goes, I was like, "Yeah." And she's like, "Oh my gosh." I was like, "It's just a normal day for us. It's all good. Don't worry about it."
Nothing to see here.
And Will just had a
No
baby.
offense, Steve.
Will just had a baby too.
Oh, did he really?
Yeah,
Okay.
like a week ago.
Oh, awesome.
So
Wow.
yeah,
I
super
haven't seen
excited.
anybody in
Super
so
excited for
long.
him and Danny.
So do you still cook? Because I know that you've kind of taken off a lot of, or done a lot of the managerial kind of things of fostering a lot of these awesome restaurants. Like, do you still chef it up sometimes?
Sometimes, not as much. I haven't had to cook at Trey Mogli at all. They've kind of allowed me to do my thing and just be an owner and kind of shake hands and kiss babies.
On like a random Friday night at home, what's your favorite thing to just cook?
Fish. I love cooking seafood.
Nice.
That's kind of what I'm known for
So is there
in my
is there a
style.
seafood restaurant in the works?
There is, actually.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, I'm a big seafood. Now, what about you, Bill? Because Bill is a chef in his own right.
Oh, I'm not a chef.
He plays chef, but he's very good. But he does a lot of the dinner parties and stuff too. He does a lot for charity, so he'll do like these big prime rib dinners and have people come over, and they'll auction them off or whatever.
I can get down with some prime rib. That'd be great.
Yeah, it's good.
Well, we've got an auction coming up. You'll have an opportunity. If
There
you
you
want.
go.
Yes.
Maybe we could trade meals for 8 people.
Okay, I'm down with that.
That would help raise some more money for Easter
That
soon.
for sure.
I tell you.
For sure. But you and Ian definitely have to go check out Trey Mogli. I thought about you guys when I was there because I know you guys are kind of like us. We either eat at home or we try to eat somewhere nice. If not, it's, what's the point?
Right.
But yeah, you definitely have to go check that out. Now, what about Parker Ice House? Because I've never been there.
So it's something else. I think it's 3,000 square feet inside, dineable space, and then it's another acre outside.
And
You'll see
where is that at?
Ranch House Road and 20, like right behind Brookshire's
okay.
in Aledo,
Okay.
Willow Park, actually.
Okay.
We do anywhere from acoustic acts from Wednesday, Thursday, full bands Friday, Saturday. Our 1 year is September 10th. We got Mickey and the Motor Cars going to come play.
Awesome.
So I haven't seen the Braun Boys in a minute, so that'll be fun.
Yeah.
They're always a good time.
Now, has it always been Parker Ice House or was it something before?
That's a brand new build.
That's brand new. Okay.
We did have a Berry Street Ice House, but landlord issues and we moved on from that. So,
Okay.
pardon me, I got this tickle on my
You're
throat.
good.
No,
You're
that's
good.
okay. I know how that gets. So, I find myself at home as we're playing with stuff, is we're always trying to create something different. Just for a regular Tuesday night meal. Do you still do that yourself?
Yeah, I love to cook. I mean, I think that I'm one of the few chefs that I'll work 15 hours and then go home and cook something. Most people are like, I will pull through the drive-thru at Taco Bell.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
I wonder that all the time though, because I mean, on a road trip and stuff like that, what's your go-to fast food?
I don't really eat fast food. If I do, it's Taco Casa. That's probably the only guilty pleasure I have.
I like all the cheese that they use.
Oh, it's so good.
It just tastes like you're eating cheese. But
Well, it's old school Taco Bell.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
100% right. When I grew up, as a kid, we'd ride our bike to Taco Bell, and I'd get a bean and cheese burrito, and it was amazing.
Yeah.
And so I got older, I went to Taco Bell.
It's not the same.
It's not the same, and occasionally I'll stop
Thank you
back
so
by
much.
because I think it's going to be better, and it's not. But I go to Taco Casa and give them a shout out for their
so good.
bean and cheese burrito with green sauce and onions. Oh my God.
All right, so can you tell us about anything else coming up that you guys
Yeah,
have?
so we're looking for
Exciting.
space for Cast and Hook, which will be our seafood concept. Seafood kitchen and raw bar. Fort Worth hasn't had a raw bar since Eddie V's got rid of theirs when they switched over to Landry's. And not just oysters. We want to do like Dungeness crab and Nantucket Bay scallops and things like that. So
I know
that'll be a
you're
fun
making me
yes.
hungry.
Yeah.
And I was always curious. So, and actually, Jaisy made a note here too. So I know you said local. Y'all try to stay as local as possible. How do you start to form those relationships? Do you is that something just by proxy, like knowing people? Or?
a little bit of everything. There's a lot of networking involved. Iris Midler, she does Chefs for Farmers in Dallas. She has done a very great job of spearheading the movement of pairing chefs with local farms.
So she just kind of like a matchmaker. She puts y'all together.
Yeah, and so basically when we were invited to come do the festival, she's like, do you have any local farmers that you already use? And Texas Fungus has been a great partner with us. They do all our mushrooms for every concept out of South Arlington here. So we knew we wanted to pair with them, and then she paired us up with Damascus Farms. They do some really cool stuff. We get a lot of veg from them. So
Nice. So when you get from a farm, is it just never? It's never frozen. I'm thinking, right?
Never.
You're just
No,
getting
no.
it straight, and it's
it comes
the freshest as it can
It's
be.
still got dirt on it. Yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
So how does seafood work? Being this far from the coast, how does seafood work?
So this is like the misnomer in DFW, right? They're like, don't eat fresh seafood in Texas. We have the second largest international airport in the United States. I can get fish that was swimming this morning.
Oh, okay. So you just not mass transportation, but air.
It just depends on what we're getting, right? So the Gold Coast, Gulf Coast, it's a plethora of what you can get. And people think that you can only get tuna from the Pacific. swordfish, tuna, grouper, snapper, all the snappers, trout, redfish, all that stuff is fantastic. There's so much stuff at our availability within the borders of Texas. Why Go Texan is such a big program that I went to Houston and opened a restaurant, and everything came from within the state borders or the coastal waters.
That's awesome.
And people are like, why would you do that? I'm like, why wouldn't you? Like, I'm in Houston. I'm a half hour from the coast. I'm like,
Right.
why aren't you picking it out of your backyard?
Well, and the problem is most people try to be cheap, right? They get it from wherever the cheapest place they can get it, and as long of the shelf life as they can get it,
Right.
and that starts to show up in quality and taste.
Exactly.
Agreed.
Yeah.
And
You
I
can
think
taste the
that
difference.
when you have the mantra and the ability to not cut the corners,
Right.
and does it cost a little bit more? Absolutely, but it's integrity and what you're happy with putting out and serving.
For
So
sure.
I want to go back to something you said because I'm not sure it was picked up on, but I sure picked up on it and I want to know more about it. You're already helping or want to help see your head chef get a James Beard Award. Tell me more about what the James Beard Award is for people that don't know what it is.
So everybody knows about Michelin stars and all that stuff from Europe, right? So James Beard, I always kind of associate as the United States version of a Michelin. Michelin does not do Texas, but James Beard out of New York, it's really about showcasing the best talent and the best food in our industry. And we take it very seriously.
And that's not a consumer based award, is it?
No, it's peers.
Okay.
It is peers and press.
And that makes a big difference, you know.
100% means more.
Well, and consumers are so Karen-ish, you know, and there's people that will always hate everything you do because it's you. You know what I mean? Not you
Right.
personally.
We dealt
but
with it
you know what I mean.
yesterday, absolutely.
Yeah.
Or they'll say that basically just act like the whole entire restaurant was bad when in actuality they didn't like, I don't know, the cup that their water came in or something silly like that.
It's really weird that people won't, if they have a bad experience, like if you talk to your management, if you talk to the manager in the restaurant, they can fix it 9 times out of 10.
Right. But that's not what they want to do.
Yeah.
I'd rather go keyboard warrior. And
Yeah.
It's,
Yeah, Yelp or
oh, we
whatever.
love Yelp. Yelp's our favorite.
Yeah.
So do you have to hire somebody to handle your social media for the people that are out there?
Misty Vento, my jack of all trades, so
Yeah.
she handles all that too. So
Yeah, that's a trick in and of itself and how to appropriately handle that.
yeah, it takes some tact, and sometimes it's like it's just not worth responding to certain things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've done this long enough that you can read, and by the way it reads, you know if it has any validation or not.
Yeah. Or if they really want to if they really wanted to fix the problem, you would tell somebody that could change it. You wouldn't go online and spew it to everybody that
Right.
would affect future business.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, we have a little segment that we like to call.
Tales from the Lockbox.
And I have a quick story, but Stefon, I want you to be thinking about maybe something funny that's happened in a restaurant or something crazy, if you've got one. If not, no big deal. But while you're doing that, Michael and I both at one point early on when we got married, we worked at Mr. Jim's. And it was good extra money. You know, we could drive at night. We got to learn Midlothian really well, the streets and where we were going and all that stuff. But I was working inside one night, and this guy pulls up, and there was a big window so you could see, people pull up. And he pulls up in a motorcycle, and like, okay, this will be interesting. He comes to the counter. He's like, yeah, I ordered a pizza. I'm like, okay, so I get him his large, extra large, whatever pizza, and I'm still thinking like, how is he? Like, what's the plan? Yeah, what's the plan? I'm like, okay, he pays for it. This guy, and of course, if you're not watching, this might be hard to explain, but he sets the pizza on the counter.
Thank you.
He puts his forearm in the center of the box and presses down, and then he proceeds to fold the box over his forearm, and he tucks it under his armpit like a newspaper or something. And he just, walks out the door, and I'm still watching him like, I still don't know what he's going to do with it. And he stuffs it in his saddlebags, like pushes it in. Saddlebags aren't that big. Pushes it down in there and just takes off. I'm like, what? Like delivery.
Why?
There's a delivery.
Why do that? Or just like sit there and eat it
Next
on
time, buy
your
a
motorcycle.
calzone.
Yeah. That makes sense.
That's a
He
good
wanted
solution.
He wanted to do it
I'm
himself.
like, why?
Yeah, a calzone would be perfect. All right, so you have anything you want to
Oh
share?
yeah, I got all kinds of stuff.
Let's go. Let's hear one.
Michael Nicholas with Fort Worth Weekly. They put on Chili Fest, Taco Fest, all these things that we do, and it's fun for us as chefs because like can I cuss on this or no?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So there's a bunch of shit talking that we do, right? So like David Hollister and I are very good friends, Wild Acre Brewing, and Taco Fest and Chili Fest, and we're always kind of jabbing at Juan
So
Rodriguez
it's kind of a
too.
competition for you
Yeah.
guys. Okay.
And so like did Chili Fest like 3 years ago, and I was driving this Chevy Cruze. I've got 5 gallons of chili in my trunk, and but I thought I had it like
Secured.
yes. It was not. And so I get back to the restaurant, I pop my trunk, and I'm like, oh, son of a bitch. And it's just chili everywhere.
Oh no.
Oh no.
But the Chevy Cruze had like, the insert has like a 4-inch wall on it, right? So I was able to just like slide it out and throw the whole thing away.
Oh no.
So it's like, now it's like trunk chili. Hashtag trunk chili is like a real thing. So like, it's just fun.
It adds
Like,
so much flavor.
oh yeah, let me tell you.
So did you just sell the car or?
That was the funny thing, is like, this is like November. And I'm like, oh man, that worked out really well. And then that first hot day in June, I was like, oh
Oh no, and you can smell it.
I was like, trading it in. So
Yuck.
now I got a pickup truck.
My mom did that once with coleslaw, and it was like mass-produced coleslaw that we got for our wedding from some barbecue place. So I'm sure, you know, whatever they put in that, and the liquid had leaked into the carpet of her
Oh.
car. She literally did sell it at some point because it just, and that, probably not the only reason, but for years, like it didn't matter what she did, like, and especially when in the heat and you could smell, it would be absolutely
that's
terrible.
awful.
Yes.
You know, we had a guy that bought our Southern Prime Rib dinner at a dinner, you know, the Easter Seals dinner auction. He paid $4,000 or $5,000 for this for 8 people. And I talked to everybody in advance, asking what they're allergic to and everything else. If they want anything special that we can either make or.
Oh, is this the guy you had to feed like?
And he
tomato?
shows up and he says, I'm a vegetarian.
Uh-oh.
He bought a prime rib dinner and he's
Oh, yeah.
vegetarian.
And here I am going,
Why did you do
I got jack that I can
He's
serve
like, I have
you.
squash, but it has meat juice on it.
You'd be surprised. Like, we get this all the time. They don't ever tell you until like last minute. Like when I was in Houston, we did the Town and Country magazine dinner, and it's like we had closed the restaurant for 3 days while they set up and decorated and all this stuff. And it's 150 people. It's RSVP'd. It's $500 a plate. And this couple gets there, they're like, we're non-dairy and we're vegan.
Yeah.
And I was like, there's cheese in every course.
Well, what was said is I called and talked to a guy in advance.
Yeah, they don't tell you. And
Yeah.
I'm like, lady, I was like, I've been prepping this dinner for a week. I'm like, you're gonna get 5 salads. Like,
Well,
that's all you're getting.
This guy got tomatoes.
Yeah, it's-
I literally had some we hadn't sliced yet. That's all he got.
Golly.
Well, that's on him for not telling you ahead of time.
Well, the people serving, Sarah was there helping serve it. It was,
Oh my gosh, I'm vegetarian, and so whenever I go to someone's house for dinner or something like that, I'll usually tell them like, "Oh, just a heads up,
Or bring a
vegetarian."
dish. Bring a dish with
or
you.
I'll bring something
Yeah.
for myself just to be like, I
or
don't want to.
he could have asked and we would have figured something out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But
That's-
oh my goodness gracious.
People are dumb. That's we need to level up.
yes,
Well,
uplift
so-
us.
Yes.
you know, recently, Ann and I recently, like a week ago tonight, we were in Asheville, North Carolina. We were at the Biltmore.
Oh, nice.
And we were staying there for our 25th anniversary, and we had reservations in the dining room. That's what they call their restaurant there. And it's a fairly high-end dining room. Shout out, it's amazing if you get a chance to go there.
It's fantastic.
Cut your right arm off because that's what it's going to cost you for the trip. So we made dinner reservations and coat, dress nice, the whole 9 yards. All the waiters are in tux and everything is beautiful. We go down there. We've got our champagne, our bottle of wine. We're having an amazing dinner experience. There's this couple sitting next to us. They're not far away from us, but they don't sit you on top of each other. And they're having a dinner experience, and they get done with their dinner. And they get up, and she wants a picture taken, which really isn't that unusual.
Right.
So they whip out their phone, and they get the waiter to start taking the picture. And the lady is... every picture he takes, she has to look at it. She says, I look fat in this one. We need to redo it.
Sounds like when me and Michael take pictures.
It was
yeah, but that's
terrible.
Michael though. That's
But it was terrible. And I finally kind of gave the waiter that was waiting on us the evil eye because, this has been going on some time.
Yeah.
And he shut it down so he couldn't do it. But seriously, and I've seen this way too often in too many restaurants. People sit down in a restaurant, they'll pick up their phone, they'll start talking on the phone in a nice restaurant. stay the heck off your phones. If you want to take a picture, I think that's great.
Take a picture in the restroom
Yeah.
at Trey Mogli.
And,
Yes.
and put it on the gram.
Yeah.
It needs to go on the gram.
Well, I think taking a picture of the food, Anna and I take pictures of food all the time, but I wouldn't dare pick up my phone and say, hello!
I've heard somebody said like a millennial is not allowed to take a bite until they take a picture of their
Yeah.
food, and it's so true.
100%.
Oh man,
Yeah.
it's always a thing, and you've got the aerial shots, you got the
Yeah.
whole thing.
Well, here's things with old people. I'm not old, but I am certainly not a millennial. We'll eat our entire plate and say, shit, forgot.
Should have
Oh,
taken a
dang.
picture.
I should have taken
Darn,
a picture. I shouldn't
forgot.
have said that either, but what can I say?
Forgot to take a picture. Forgot
So,
to take my medicine.
you
Forgot
know,
to.
Level up, guys. Don't disturb other people.
Exactly.
And be a good guest at a restaurant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, be good to your
Respect your
servers.
waiters. Yes.
Yes.
But yeah, thank you guys so much thank you, Stefan, so
Yeah,
much for being
absolutely.
here and joining us and
Thanks for
telling us
having me.
about all of the amazing food that you've brought to the area and all that you've been doing
check
to
'em
support farmers and all of that. So please, we will have links down below for a lot of the restaurants and things like that. Please be sure to be there, take a picture, put it on the gram.
Support your local restaurants.
Yes, like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you next time. PB and JC, we out.
I'm going.
Just had a chat, talk this and that with PB and JC.